I want to talk about somebody. I want to talk about George Zimmerman and what I don't. I still, after 4 years of him getting away with this killing, can't understand. Now, I have, I guess, a moderate stance on the whole Trayvon Martin case, and my position on that is really they both probably did things that contributed to it getting out of hand to where Zimmerman pulled out the weapon. I believe Zimmerman started it. I don't believe his claim that Trayvon just went up to him and smacked him out of nowhere. I don't buy that. But again, I think there was a level of guilt on Trayvon's part as well. But at the end of the day, Zimmerman still he held the gun. That was his weapon, and that's what he chose to use at that time. Now, a number of conservatives, and I'm only throwing them under the bus because I can't think of any liberals who did this, in the media were quick to defend Zimmerman and say that, oh no, he's so misunderstood. He didn't mean to do it. Or, oh, you understand. Trayvon came and attacked him. He hurt him. He did it to him. He messed with him. He started with him. No, no, no. The reality is that it was something they both started. But again, Zimmerman had the weapon. He fired it. And I think he should have faced some type of repercussion. You can almost get me on jail time. Even if, I do believe jail time should have been bestowed upon him. But again, that's whatever. I'm going off of the perspective of the jury. If they didn't believe in jail time, there should have been some type of probation, or just there needed to be something to speak to the idea that when you kill somebody, you have to make up for it in some capacity. Maybe it's not sitting up in prison every day. Maybe it's not just staying somewhere forever. But you shouldn't be able to just go and say, oh, well, I shot him. Well, time to go walk around the street. No. And I guess every year I get a little, I've been trying to put this off and I really didn't want to do it. But every year since that killing, of these last 4 years, I've always thought about Zimmerman's actions. And now that he's, I guess, out of the quote unquote limelight, we're not hearing about him every single day. The stuff on Twitter with retweeting the dead body picture and trying to blackmail the girl that didn't want to date him anymore, and partnering up with the guy in Florida that owned the gun shop. All of that. In addition to this incident with this other man who confronted him and, in his own words, threatened to kill him and shot at Zimmerman, which he didn't deserve. I don't believe Zimmerman deserves to die. I don't believe anyone deserves to die. That's why this case had me so frustrated, because it seemed to me that a lot of members of the media were just trying to make Trayvon Martin out to be this horrible guy that was so thuggish in his activities and his looks and his demeanor, talking about the hoodie. To this day, I don't wear hoodies anymore. I stopped wearing hoodies after, must have been 7th grade. 8th grade, that was roughly I was in 8th grade when this happened. 7th grade I stopped, but 8th grade I still would have thought about it. But again, after that case and them talking about the thug attire and the black hoodie and, oh no, the evil clothing. I stopped. I was done. No more ever again. I was through. Now, and I'm not standing straight, so let me admit that. I was even further perplexed by how you could have an entire set of pollers or poll system or polling group or poll guys or whatever, and they went and said, okay, we're polling for the potential presidential candidates in a Republican field in 2016. This is 2013, and they put Zimmerman on there. Now, if he didn't win, thank God. But it's just the idea. And the pollster, I was thinking when I heard about it, there was some kind of trick or joke or just something was wrong. No one was serious about this. This was some kind of belated April Fool's joke. But in reality, the guy who was the director of the public polling place, if I'm using their name correctly, he admitted they threw him in there. They were curious. That was his answer. They wanted to see how he would do. They knew he was popular with conservatives, and they wanted to see how he would align the party, and blah 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 blah. Just all of that. And I, for the life of me, I just kept thinking about you. You throw this man in here. They only did that because they wanted to see people's reactions, and they admitted to it. So I can't fault them for that. But it's just the idea that in this crowd of serious contenders, you just throw this man in here who's so divisive, so hated in some corners. It's just like, wow. That was amazing to me, and not in a good way, by the way. Lastly, because I'm not going to drag on forever, you had in Zimmerman this person who I think has really become the poster child for racism in America. And again, that's not to say that he is racist or that his killing of Trayvon Martin was race related, but I am of the belief that once he got out of the spotlight and just didn't have cameras focusing on him every day as he had in the trial, really that period from February 2012 when this happened to July of 2013 when the trial took place, I do believe that he wanted more of his 15 minutes of fame, and that most of what he's doing now, as crazy as it is, all comes from a place of wanting to stay in the limelight. So there's a part of him that I think is so determined to just keep having publicity and keep being around and keep being present that he will do anything. And that included replying to people that sent him tweets, painting these pictures that people bought. Just, I can't even explain why they would think that was good. And this is no diss on his art, but from someone with that background, maybe it was just good art. I don't think so. I think there are people who like that type of material and they'll get it regardless of the person who does it. But again, it's just him trying to stay in the limelight and recapture that level of publicity he had at one point. That's all it is. And I think it's very deplorable that we have a society where someone of that nature can even be able to exist. But whatever. Thank you for watching and have a good day.